Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Keisha the Sugar Muse, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a basic vanilla ice cream. So what we have here are the ingredients. I have 2 whole eggs and 2 egg yolks. I have about 3 teaspoons of vanilla. You could use more, you could use less. I have 3/4 cup of granulated sugar. I have a pinch of salt, and I have a cup of milk. So I'm going to put in my milk. Then I put in the egg yolks and the eggs, and I'm going to pour in my sugar. Now I'm going to whisk. Whisk well. You want everything combined. As you can see, everything is nicely blended. What I want to do now is I want to put my pot over heat. You want to put it over medium-low heat. And what you're going to do is you're going to cook this mixture into a custard until it thickens and reaches a temperature of about 170 degrees. I have my pot over medium to low heat, and I'm going to go around my pot with my spatula to make sure I don't have any sugar accumulated around the edge of the pot, because we don't in this instance we don't want our sugar to caramelize. Now if we were making caramel ice cream, it would be okay. But in this instance, we don't want it to do that. So you're gonna have to babysit this. You're gonna have to stand over the pot and stir. Make sure you're scraping the bottom with the spatula, because we really do not want our eggs to curdle. If the eggs cook too quickly, they'll curdle, and we're making ice cream, not scrambled eggs. So make sure you're going over that pot. As you can see, my custard has not thickened at all. It drips right off the spatula. So we're going to keep cooking, keep stirring. What you're looking for is for your custard to coat your spatula or the back of a spoon, whatever you're using. And you want your temperature to be between 160 and 170 degrees. So I'm going to turn my heat off, and I'm going to check the temperature of my custard. And it is at the correct temperature. So now I am going to transfer my custard to a bowl for cooling, and I'm going to sieve it, which means I'm going to run it through a strainer so that we get any bits of cooked egg that might have curdled out of the custard. So I'm just going to run my custard through my sieve. It's usually easier to do it while it's still hot because it flows a little more easily. Take your spatula and just kind of work your custard through there. So now that I have run my custard through my sieve, I am going to set it aside to chill. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stir in my vanilla and my salt. Now if you noticed, I did not temper the eggs. If you know anything about cooking, tempering the eggs is when you add warm liquid to beaten egg so that you don't raise the temperature too quickly and curdle the egg. I didn't do that because I'm not steeping anything in the custard that would require heating separately. So I just went ahead and made my custard quick and easy. So now that everything is combined, I am going to cover my custard with plastic wrap so we don't get any funny flavors into it, and I'm going to set it in the freezer for an hour or maybe 2, however long it takes to get your custard down to 40 degrees. You want it really cool for the next step. Okay, for the next step, I am going to beat or whip 2 cups of heavy whipping cream in my stand mixer until it reaches soft to medium peaks. 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, and it's cold. You do want it to be cold. So I'm going to now beat this. It should take around 5 minutes until it has soft to stiff peaks. Okay, so it's been about 1.5 minutes, and as you can see, my whipped cream has whipped nicely. So if you're using a hand mixer, it may take you the full 5 minutes, but with a stand mixer, it really shouldn't. So this is the consistency we want, and we want to stop here because the one thing you don't want to do is make butter, and that's what happens if you keep whipping cream. If you whip it too long, you'll have butter. And we're not making butter, we're making ice cream. And I'm gonna show you how to incorporate the whipped cream and our custard. So here I have my custard. It is very cold. I just took it out of the freezer. It was in there for approximately an hour and a half, and it's very cold. The bowl is very cold. As you can see, the custard is slightly thicker. So now what we're gonna do is I'm going to take some of the whipped cream, maybe about half a cup, just a nice little dollop. It's not scientific, so it doesn't have to, you don't have to measure it or anything. No measuring needed. This is not as precise as baking. And I'm going to take my whipped cream and I'm going to whip it into my custard to lighten up the custard, so that when we mix it into the whipped cream, it doesn't deflate it. So as you can see, it's lightened up. The color has changed. It's no longer as yellow as it was. Keep whipping it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my whipped cream and I'm going to fold in my custard. I'm going to pour about half, and I'm going to fold that in. You don't want to beat it, you just want to fold it. Just stir, and that custard's going to lighten and it's going to break down just a little bit. The whipping cream will, but that's okay. So as you can see, it's pretty much in there. There's not too many streaks left over. So now I'm gonna add the rest of my custard. So now we're just gonna fold some more. See, this is what it looks like now. It almost looks like cake batter. Very uniform in texture. There's no streaks of anything left over that we didn't get. Scrape the bottom of your bowl really well. Make sure that we got everything in there. Now I'm going to transfer my ice cream into a container for freezing. This doesn't have to be anything special. You don't have to go out and buy ice cream containers, even though I do plan to do that in the near future. But today I'm just going to be using nice stainless steel metal bowl. Freezer safe. You don't have to worry about it cracking in the freezer. It's perfectly safe. Whatever you use, you want it to be freezer safe. So I'm just gonna pour the ice cream into the bowl, smooth it out. Now I'm going to take a piece of plastic wrap. I'm gonna cover my ice cream. And I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna press the plastic wrap against the surface of the ice cream, just gently. Press it against the surface. Don't feel bad about using this plastic, because what I do is when I finish with my plastic wrap, I rinse it off and recycle it. I recycle it with my plastic bags and Ziploc bags, things like that. So I may use a lot of plastic, but I recycle it. So now that the ice cream is well covered, I'm going to put it into the freezer. Now you can eat this soft serve, so I would say freeze it for an hour or two. I'm gonna actually freeze mine between 6 and 8 hours because I like my ice cream more firm. Here is the finished ice cream. I have the world's tiniest ice cream scoop, so I can't make huge scoops, but you know. And that is the end of the ice cream video. Thank you for watching. I hope you try the recipe, and I will see you again soon.